Hey there, it's John with Heroes and Legends, and today I have a unboxing slash review for you for Magic the Gathering Duel Deck, Zendikar versus Eldrazi. So just pick this up. What I'll do is I'm going to open it up so you guys can take a look at the product, and then I'll kind of pause the video and have an opportunity to play with the decks and come back and do an actual review after I kind of get to go hands-on with them. So let's open up and see what we got here. So these products, these dual deck products, really great for new players typically. It's a way to just kind of start out with two decks. I mean, I do enjoy teaching someone, I guess, the game, playing more like a sealed environment where they have a chance to build a deck as well. But sometimes it's easy just to kind of show people with decks that are already built before you kind of move on to that step. So these are good for that. One thing you'll notice right off the bat is this time they come with two spin down die, 20-sided, so that's a new thing, and these have the kind of generic Magic the Gathering symbol on them. Actually look pretty good. So not as cool as the more translucent ones we saw in like Dragons of Tarkir, but it's a great inclusion. We get these deck boxes. I'm never a big fan of these if you've seen my other reviews. I just don't know really what they're for. You can put the cards in here, but you can't put sleeve cards in them, or sleeve deck won't fit in here. So, and they're very flimsy. The only good thing about it is this product only costs $20. So if they started putting something more fancy in here, it might drive the price of this product up. You don't really want that. So it is what it is. It's there. I don't even know if it needs to be included, especially now that they've included the dice. I think that's just better. You have your rules reference card, which comes with most products, such as fat packs and clash packs and stuff like this. And then finally you got your dual deck sheet, which has, I'll open this up quickly so you can take a look, but it's going to tell you what is in the decks and what sets those cards come from, which I always find interesting. As you'll kind of notice with this one, it's mostly cards that were reprinted from the original Zendikar block. Of course, we do have preview cards from Battle for Zendikar in here, which we talked about in the spoilers videos if you haven't seen those. But yeah, it gives you a brief description kind of the Eldrazi and Zendikar, kind of what's going on from a lore point of view with these decks. And here's the other side. So, very cool. All right, so let's jump in and start looking at these decks. Let's start with Zendikar first. I'll open this up and I'll zoom in so you can take a better look at the cards. Where's the tab here? I don't see the tab. All right, that works too. All right, let's get these lined up. We'll zoom in quickly and go through the deck. All right, so start here with the Mythic Rare, the key card, Avenger of Zendikar, which is new art. It is a reprint, of course, but the art looks pretty good. Get your next rare here, which is Scoop Mob. And this is one of the cards from, oops, let's zoom out just a tad. This is one of the cards from the new set, Battle for Zendikar. So this is kind of the first we get a chance to see it. I talked more about it in the spoiler video, so if you want to get more of a detailed review, check that out. You get another rare here, that's Seer Sundial. Then you get a Primal Command with new art, which actually looks really cool. It's more Zendikar themed art. You get a Stirring Wildwood. This is another rare, and this is a man land. This is nice value. Pretty cool to get a man land in a set like this. I think those are probably our rare, so I'll go kind of quickly through the commons and uncommons here. Get a couple Caravan Escorts, a Beastbreaker, a Bellegarde, Frontier Guide, Knight of Cliffhaven, Stonework Puma, Daggerback Basilisk, Grazing Gladeheart, Dejuro Archer, Avant-Garde Hound, oops, Turn Timber Basilisk, Gray Pelt Hunter, another one, Jorga Bard, Ondu Giant, Kabera Vindicator, Makindi Griffin, Wildheart Invoker, Territorial Baloth, a couple of those, Explorer Scope, Groundswell, pretty cool inclusion, Oust, Kaleni Heart Expedition, you get a Harrow, Retreat to Kazandu, which is actually a new card. This is an uncommon, but this is from Battle for Zendikar as well. Repel the Darkness. And here's another Battle for Zendikar card, Sheer Drop. You get 2 of those. And this has the new Awaken mechanic. And we get to our lands. We got Evolving Wilds, Gray Pelt Refuge, a couple of those, Turn Timber Grove, and now we're probably up to our basic lands. You got your forests and your plains, and tokens. So it looks like we got plant tokens. I think they're single-sided plant tokens for your Avenger of Zendikar. So this is Zendikar deck. It actually looks kind of fun to play. It's got landfall. It's got some of the, definitely the feel of the old Zendikar. Or the old Zendikar block, I should say. You see Level Up from Rise of Eldrazi in there. All right. Of course, that's a green-white deck. I believe this is red and black. Okay, so let's look at, get the foil off here. There we go. All right, so let's start by taking a look at the Mythic Rare, which is kind of the centerpiece card for this deck, and that's Oblivion Sower, which is a brand new card that will be in Battle for Zendikar. And he's a 5/8 Eldrazi. Next rare is Magma. We get a Butcher of Malachi. It That Betrays, which is another card with some decent value you're getting here, so that's pretty cool. It's a rare. We get a Consume the Meek. This is new art, first time seen in this reprint. And we get a Hellion Eruption at rare. Alright, now go a little quicker through our commons and uncommons. Ruined Servitors, a couple of those. Bloodthorn Vampire. Here's one of the new cards from Rise of the Eldrazi. This is uncommon, Forerunner of Slaughter. This is pretty cool because this is a dual color Eldrazi that's still colorless. So again, I talk more about these cards in the spoiler videos if you want to check those out. But a really cool looking card, actually. I like that design on the card face. We get a Bloodright Invoker. And here's another new Battle of Zendikar card, and that's Dominator Drone. Another Eldrazi. Actually get 2 of those. Torch Slinger. Cadaver Imp. Pawn of Ulamog. Vampire Nighthawk. Heartstabber Mosquito. Get 2 of those. You get 3 Emmercole's Hatchers. Ulamog's Crusher. Artisan of Kozilek. So a lot of Eldrazi. This will also be a fun deck to play, I think. Forked Bolt. A couple of those. Get a Mind Stone. You get 2 Mind Stones, which is actually pretty nice. I know they've included those in a lot of the Commander products, but still a good card. Smother. Marsh Casualties. Induce Despair. A Read the Bones. 2 Read the Bones, actually. Corpse Hatch. We get to our lands. We got Akram Refuge. 3 of those. You get an Eldrazi Temple. You get a Rocky Tar Pit. This one's interesting to me. This has never been reprinted. It was, you get 2 of them here. This was originally in Mirage, and they did I think it was just ally colors. I don't think there were enemy colors of these, but they're basically fetch lands that come into play tapped is what they are. So kind of cool. You know, I don't know if something like this would be reprinted sometime in the new Zendikar block. I mean, they're not as good, obviously, as the fetch lands that we know and love, but they're still fetch lands, and they work well with landfall. So I don't know, interesting. And then we get, of course, 2 our lands, and I think the art on these, I think is maybe a cropped version of the full art lands from Zendikar, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe this is this new Zendikar art, or maybe for the next set, I don't know. Actually, that one looks familiar, so maybe. So there's your basic lands, and then you got tokens at the end here. Eldrazi spawn tokens, and a Hellion token, and so they're one-sided, so. All right, so that's the product. I mean, my first impression, first glance, these look like kind of fun dual decks to play. They look like a little more fun than maybe some of the past dual decks have been, so I'm looking forward to trying them out. What I'll do is I'll kind of stop the video, I'll have a chance to play with them a little bit, and I'll come back and let you know my final thoughts on the product, and make sure, you know, the decks are balanced, that they feel right, they're not overly complicated, or one's better than the other, or, you know, confusing interactions or anything like that. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I played a match with the Zendikar deck and a match with the Eldrazi deck. Basically, just my wife and I played, then we switched decks, best 2 out of 3. So here's what I kind of learned about this product as I played. I'm glad I played with it, because I don't think I would have noticed this necessarily just looking at the initial build. So we'll start with this deck here, the Zendikar deck. A couple things. First off, this is a product that really feels like a product for new players, and it's an easy way to kind of get a couple decks and just play a quick game. You don't have to worry about assembling decks or deck building. A good way to teach somebody the game, I would think. But this deck was very hard to pilot. Like, if I was a new player, it has so many triggers going on. You have landfall happening, which is going on at the same time as all your ally triggers. So you like play a land and you get a bunch of landfall triggers, and then you play a creature and you get a bunch of ally triggers. It's just so easy to miss triggers. So this deck was very complicated for a new player. An experienced player, it could have fun with some of the landfall synergies and ally synergies, but really this product doesn't feel geared to me to an advanced player, so that's felt a little awkward. The other thing I'll say about this deck is it just felt very underpowered, as far as didn't have a lot of removal, and the removal it had was relatively conditional, and you're going up against a deck that just seemed, I don't know, faster. This has a lot of level up creatures in it, and just by definition those are not very fast, and you tend to sink a lot of mana into them. If they get destroyed, it's really a waste of resources. This deck just seemed to play a lot slower than the other decks. So now let's talk about Eldrazi. Eldrazi was a lot simpler to pilot. It was a lot easier. If I was a new player, I think I'd be okay with this particular deck. The only thing which was awkward was it just felt a lot more powerful than the Zendikar deck. So when you played with this one, it had more removal, it had more mass removal, it had duplicates of powerful cards, like the Hatcher, for example. There's 3 copies of that in there, and he costs 5 for a 3/3, and you get 3 0/1 Eldrazi tokens can be sacked for mana. That is pretty powerful, if nothing else, just to be used to chump block until I can get a big Eldrazi out on the board and basically decimate everything. So it just seemed very unbalanced. So the first set of games I played with the Eldrazi deck, and I went 2-1. I did lose one time to the Zendikar deck. Next set of games I played with the Zendikar deck and went 0-2. So out of the games we played, basically the Zendikar deck went 1-4 out of the 5 games we ended up playing. So yeah, Eldrazi was 4-1, and when you look at it that way. Now granted, some of that's based on draws and just, you know, the way things play out. If we played 100 games, maybe it would have come out more even, but it just felt, I felt like it was much harder to gain any ground playing the Zendikar deck. Whereas I just felt like the Eldrazi deck was almost too easy. I was just putting stuff down and tokens down and ramping into big things, and it just was working a lot better. So yeah, you know, there it is. So as far as my final grade for this product, I do like some of the cards. I like the fact that you get to use Eldrazi, you get to use landfall. I like what they put in these decks, and there's also a higher quality of reprints. I enjoy the cards from Battle for Zendikar, but then there's also cards like Avenger of Zendikar, there's the Mindstone reprint, there's the Primal Command reprint with new art, the Consume the Meek reprint with new art. So there's some cool reprints in here, and I do enjoy that. They did a good job at picking cards. I just don't think they did a great job at designing a deck, and I don't know who exactly it's being designed for, because it didn't feel like it was really a good product for new players. So having said that, I probably have to give it a C. This, I love the card selection. I love that we have like a Manland reprinted in here, just better stuff than you normally get in this type of product. And for $20, I love the price point. But I can't recommend it for new players because of the complexity of the Zendikar deck. And I can't really recommend it for experienced players because the decks do feel very out of balance with each other. Just the Eldrazi just seems much, much better from my review. So anyway, take it for what it's worth. Like I said, if we played more games, it might have, you know, been more even, but that was just my impressions from playing through 5 games with these decks, and hope that helps a little bit. Hey, as always, please remember to like and subscribe. If you haven't checked out our Patreon page, it's a new month. We'll start over with our giveaway tiers. Check that out, the link at the end of the video. And as always, have a great day.
Hey, thanks as always for watching. These videos are made possible by viewers just like you through Patreon. Please check out our Patreon page by clicking on the top right. Down below we have more links to quality Magic the Gathering content, and if you're interested in seeing trading cards open that aren't Magic the Gathering, check out the link to our trading card channel, Heroes and Legends Trading Cards. Thanks and have a great day.